Well, hello there, and welcome back to the very latest episode of my Love Machine podcast. Now, in today's episode, we are peering into the crystal ball of romance to uncover the secrets of the future of dating and matchmaking. As technology continues to weave its way into every aspect of our lives, the way we connect with potential partners is undergoing a radical transformation. From swiping left or right to sophisticated AI algorithms, the dating landscape is evolving at a breakneck pace. But with these advancements come both opportunities and challenges. How will artificial intelligence revolutionize the matchmaking industry? What role will it play in helping singles find their perfect match? And perhaps more importantly, how can we ensure that technology enhances rather than hinders the quest for love? So to help, I have somebody who's been working in the industry for a very, very long time, and she has witnessed all the twists and turns so far. Leslie Wardman is the CEO and founder of Ambiance Matchmaking, a personalized high-end matchmaking service for conscious leaders, creatives, and entrepreneurs. Leslie's mission is to help her clients find a committed relationship that aligns with their values, passions, and life goals. Ambience has been featured in New York Times, Chicago Tribune, Forbes, and has guested on several TV and radio shows. She also has a podcast of her own, which is called Outsmart. So join us as we embark on a riveting exploration on the future of dating, dissecting the ways in which AI will shape our romantic pursuits. Together we'll uncover the tools and strategies that will empower singles to navigate the complex world of modern romance with confidence and clarity. Leslie, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you, James. And you?
I'm really good, thank you. As we said, the sun is shining, which is very rare over here in the UK, but it's nice. But you're by the beach, aren't you?
I am, and the sun keeps going in and out, so the lighting might get bizarre, but oh well.
Don't worry, I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. So, how long have you been in the industry for? And tell me about your matchmaking agency.
22 years, and we're in a constant metamorphosis, keeping up with the times. That's why I jumped on this topic, though. Disclaimer, not a wealth of information, I assure you, but I'll enjoy philosophizing and, getting maybe your audience feedback on, the ifs and buts and maybes and stuff. So, our matchmaking agency, I don't know, we pride ourselves on a seriously caring team. And that having been said, we care. I mean, we're not inexpensive, but we do care about the clients more than anything. And when it comes down to it, we don't just sit around and bat our eyelashes. There's so much to it, and we just do so much vetting and so much searching, and we just take, few and far between clients. We're not like wanting to. I mean, once upon a time, I thought I could get everybody on the planet in a relationship. I really did. I tried to help everybody, and I realized that's not feasible. And what do I say? Retired my cape, and now I'm just like working with, we upped the bar and went into like people that are, fully conscious of themselves. Because, I have to say that, like, I think the most important thing in seeking out somebody, I mean, you can get lucky and bump into this guy. It's so much easier when you're younger, ooh, your same favorite color, blue, yay, let's get married. But now, I mean, it's so important, and things have gotten so much more complicated, and people have gotten more sophisticated. Oh, it's contagious. But just knowing yourself is super huge. So we and my business partner asked me, who do you really want to cater to? And it's definitely, conscious. And I think and now it's like really, trending big time. And it's good to see everybody's kind of like, I don't know, just paying more attention, let's say. I don't want to use any buzzwords that are kind of nauseating, but it's a thing.
Amazing. So something you said there that made me think. You're absolutely right. You can't help everybody. Not everyone can be helped, but we can inform, can't we? We can advise, we can give the suggestions. All someone can do is take our advice if they want to. So we can steer people in the right direction, but we have a phrase: you can't take a horse to water. Well, you can take a horse to water, you can't make them drink. That's what it is. And I think something that's amazing now that is coming up is AI, which has its purposes for matchmaking and for dating. But something else that you said to me, it's about the personal touch, isn't it? You vet people, you meet them personally, or you meet them over Zoom, you get to know them, you take the time, and you spend that time getting to know people properly. How can AI replace that? It's difficult. So let's start with telling me, what do you think are the benefits of AI?
AI might be useful in, I don't mean to sound redundant, but it may be useful in helping people get to know themselves, perhaps,
Yeah.
because, and it's a bit of a conundrum, but I think, a lot of people are making fun of AI and saying it's not really, AI. I mean, because it just hasn't gotten there yet, because we're at this awkward phase evolutionary wise. I mean, it's just knocking on the door for crying out loud. I mean, I know, you say it's been around for 5 years and what have you, but it's got a long ways to go. And it's going to be feeding on our, intellect. And our intellect is got so much potential and it's so little used. I mean, I think we're up to maybe what, 8% now out of the
About
big
that.
picture. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're getting there. So we're basically going to be, training this AI, coming along. So I think it'll be interesting. Like when I first was talking to maybe my business partner, and we were talking about it. Like you've seen some of those creepy shows where there's like a bot boyfriend or bot girlfriend, and how are you? And it comes with no baggage and no ex-wives or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's so perfect. It's creepy. And at first I was like, without thinking, I'm like, sign me up, kind of joking. But and then I started really philosophizing about it and just thinking, God, all the quirks about people, all the little, our free will and things that make us us, and the beauty of that as humans on this planet, that's irreplaceable. So, okay, and then I think I think it'll just help streamline things a little bit better, but it'll never, weed out, as you stated, the intuition. I don't see that happening. There are some of my like kind of guru people that I watch and they discuss the possibilities of that, and it would get again extracted from us. We might be neck and neck in this race, because our brain power is like, on, I don't know, second gear or something, but it'll be interesting. I can't prophesize entirely, but it's certainly fun to speculate.
I think it is. I think there's definitely benefits to this because anything that can help people more and get to know themselves, like you said, is always going to be beneficial.
Hmm.
But there is a very, very dark side to all this as well.
Hmm.
And that is mainly to do with fake information, fake photographs, fake profiles. And
Yeah.
people know you can generate. I use lots of AI on my social media. I generate images because they're
Okay.
stock. They are free for me to use within reason, and they are my designs, and that's great. But there are people out there using these fake photographs, not my
Hmm.
personal ones, just generally, and they're using
Sure.
them on dating apps to fool
Yeah.
people that they're real.
Yeah.
And there are profile text on there as well. So people can write a profile using ChatGPT or something like that, which is great. But then they're having conversations with each other
Yeah.
based on using AI to generate what they say next, which is a load
Hmm.
of nonsense. Because, of course, then what happens next? How do they have a real life conversation? Are they going to sit
Yeah.
there with their phones and pull out that sort of thing? But then
Yeah.
the darker side comes up, and that's video dating now. Because
Hmm.
AI is advancing so fast. I'm sure you're aware of this. And they're starting to be able to generate AI videos beyond
Hmm.
deepfake, beyond all these photo images, where it's someone talking. And
Hmm.
I saw another matchmaker today on one of the forums. It may even be one of your forums that you've got. And they were
Hmm.
putting a video on there and they were
Hmm.
sharing, this is me, this is synthesized my voice.
Hmm.
And I put an AI has written this for me and they've generated all the images. It doesn't quite sound natural, but this is what's
Hmm.
coming. So many YouTube videos, people just AI voices. You can clone your own voice. I find
Hmm.
that quite scary. What do you think?
I think everybody needs to get an upgraded version of their BS detectors, big time,
Yep.
because we're just gonna have to keep up with it. And I think it could have, like, I'm thinking as I'm talking here, but like when the internet first hit, I had opened up Ambiance Matchmaking just prior to that. And all of a sudden I was like, Match.com, millionaire matchmaker, we are, but it ended up being okay because once they hit that platform, they were like, thinking, comparing it to like taking a walk in East LA after dark or something, because it was just so much of this drama, digital drama that you're talking about. So once again, it pivots back to, humans, and okay, humans can get a little sketchy too, but just, dialing in and using your intuition into whomever it is that, you would like to work with and help you navigate through yet another landscape.
Yeah.
New frontier. So I don't know. I just remember when eHarmony first came out. Like I was tripping over this eHarmony thing. I was like, "Ooh, this sounds very intellectual. Ooh, a doctor. Ooh, 5 pages of a million questions." And you know, I first started then going, "These people like," and then it continued through the dating apps and stuff like that, which that is of course, but everybody's writing. Speaking of fake, okay, we're just like fake news, fake profiles. Everything is bloody fake, man. But people are putting down, they don't know themselves, so they're putting down, I don't know, and it can get a little tricky. Granted, in defense of human character, a lot of times you're supposed to put the first thing that comes to your mind because if you overthink something, then it can, mess you up even on a driver's test, whatever. But yeah, knowing yourself, it's just monumental. So like I started kind of like I was kind of boohooing that a little bit because, and then all the dating apps, because especially people put quite often, like they are the influencers and what have you, who they wish they were so much. Ooh, what a great place. And that's like a dominating force on the internet. People get to like, I watched that show on Netflix the other day, the QAnon people that just created this thing that got out of control. And next thing you know, it was just nuts. And they're just like delivering, food during the day and they go home, they're messing around. Next thing you know, this like whole revolution happened. That was kind of a freak show. Like they can do anything, but yeah, it's just important having the human touch and not going too far down that rabbit hole.
Let's talk about the eHarmony profiles because they're an
Okay.
interesting thing in themselves. Because when they first came out, that was amazing. You spend
Yeah.
45 minutes filling in a personality profile, and then you find someone at the end of it who's supposed to be a great match for you. Now, I've
Mhm.
worked with eHarmony before. I know there's benefits of this, but in the
Mhm.
UK, they're not allowed to advertise that scientifically proven to help you find a better match because there's no scientific proof that doing this profile really helps you. I like your
Mhm.
thoughts on that in just 1 second. But my
Okay.
belief is that that does
Mhm.
serve a purpose for two reasons. Having the personality profile is a great sort of USP, but it stops a lot of fake people filling out profiles and scammers. Why were they going to spend 45 minutes, even 20 minutes doing that? They go on to
Mhm.
a site when they can do it quicker. And also,
Mhm.
there's the placebo effect as well. If you're told that someone's going to be a perfect match for you and a 95% match, you are more
Mhm.
likely to invest time getting to know them. They're the
Mhm.
benefits. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on that?
Well, I think you are a chronic optimist. No, no, but seriously, from well, I always get the people that come to me because, a lot of them never want to go do that in the first place. They don't want their information being, public. They're high profile
Yeah.
people and stuff like that. But a lot of people come to me after trying maybe something like this, and I get the dark side of their scenarios. And I know there are people that meet on these places, but they don't come to me. If they've met on those places, I don't get to hear from them. So I've got like, the dark side of stories. But I think it may be, you have to keep, okay, no matter what you do, you got to keep your realistic expectations in, the main front. Because if you're going to get starbound over something that you're told, or if you take something out of context, you seriously have to keep it real. I can't handle this one thing. I used to do a radio show out of Connecticut with this guy. He's called I don't know, most realistic, matchmaker or something like that. Expectations, keep it
Yeah.
happening or something. But it's so important because it'd be so easy, like especially I hear so many like stories about like maybe somebody that was newly widowed and when, and there's so many people out there that can tell them everything that they just want to hear. And they're like, sign me up because, people are hungry for love, like love probably still is and will remain to be, one of the
Mm.
biggest sought after intangibles in this planet Earth. So,
Yeah.
it's an easy place to be vulnerable. And it
Yeah.
disturbs me quite a bit to hear like certain stories and stuff like that. So
Mm.
yeah, just no matter what you're doing, where you're going, you just have to like not get tainted. I love your chronic optimism, by the way. I am as well, but I just
Yeah.
like your stories. So yeah, just remain optimistic and make sure. I don't know. I just pray for everybody to have intuition because you just gotta know that if somebody's telling you everything that they want to hear, you got to be careful.
I agree, and I'm absolutely an optimist, and I believe in positivity. However, I'm also a realist, and I think it's a lot of nonsense, the personality profiles. That's what I'm saying, because a pessimist and an optimist can have a really good conversation, couldn't they? Great, and then and an introvert and extrovert can get on really well and have an amazing date. But it doesn't mean they're not
Mhm.
right for each other. Finding someone who's completely similar to you has its
Mhm.
perks, but there's also many downsides because you need to grow and learn from each other. And that does
Mhm.
come from an intuition of a matchmaker or a dating coach.
Yeah.
And so many of my clients will come to me and they're on these apps and on the dating sites and they absolutely hate them. And what
Yeah.
do? I will send them on to a dating agency because I work with
Mhm.
so many of them and it works out really well. And then the personal touch, getting to know someone, and that can really work.
Yeah.
But we are seeing the advent now. You sent me something before the podcast of
Mm.
matchmaking dedicated apps now, where they
Mhm.
supposedly replace matchmakers. And we both laughed about that to some degree.
Mhm.
But that's what's
Mhm.
coming next, isn't it? That's the next
Mhm.
line of this, where people
Mhm.
will pay more money to have a
Mhm.
specialized program. Even Tinder recently
Mhm.
introduced a $500 a month membership where you get someone to help you do this. But it's still
Mhm.
the same people, isn't it? It's still the same database. So you're not going to be seeing any better profiles. But I guess the answer is no, but do you feel threatened by this coming up in the future?
I'm not like a fear-based type person. Like when I watch all my favorite gurus like Tom Bilyeu and all these people talking about where we are and where things are going navigational wise, and how they're, all this coming down in every pipeline imaginable, every, sector of work. I mean, I think I heard only construction workers might not be affected by, what's coming. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and at certain times I might, but then the chronic optimist in me, after us, meditating and philosophizing and just going over it and over it, a lot of people, they're probably not our people, but a lot of people might go about that avenue. But when I sent you that, did you click on the video? Like I remember the first time I clicked it on after
Yeah.
doing the Mark Brooks thing online. And I was like, wow, because my mind, nobody's still hasn't, but has wrapped their mind around that. And I was just, it was a chuckle then. Now it's a little bit more feasible, so I put myself in the shoes of, and I always do this with my clients, but what it would be like to have an AI bot person take you by the hand. And I think it would end up just like these movies that we've watched so often. I feel like we're kind of entering into the Ray Bradbury scheme of things, but I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
at first it seems like, oh wow, yeah, that's right. And this like um AI thing would make sense and talk to you, but all of a sudden there's like that certain point, always in the movie, there's like this point where you're like, hey, and it kind of like goes into the intuition groove, like you want like a certain spin, or want them to have a certain lens that is only it's only human. And all of a sudden the humans looking at it and deer in the headlamps kind of, and then the bot might get pissed off and kill them. No, I don't know. It just gets a little weird.
There's a lot of horror films like that. There's even like, wait, do you remember Westworld, the original film with the old
Oh
Brenner
yeah.
years ago?
Mm.
That's what it is. It's a future. Everyone goes there. There's robots taking the place of people, and they
Yeah.
eventually take over and try and kill. There's
Mhm.
Annabelle. There's the doll that comes alive. There's Chucky that comes
Mhm.
alive. But we are entering towards a possibility where an
Mhm.
app can learn so much about you, and
Mhm.
not you personally, but collectively about
Yeah.
single people, what they're looking for, and it starts to tell you what you want to hear, and it
Yeah.
starts giving you direction. You believe it, and your
Yeah.
matchmaker's telling you this and to do that, or any a
Yeah.
life coach, whoever it might be. And eventually, you're so suckered into this that you'll start to
Mhm.
believe everything that it says. And there
Yeah.
was a serious case of this last year. Do you remember somebody was going around and they murdered people based on this, or something really bad happened because they were being told by their virtual lover that they should go and kill people. Does that ring a bell? Have you heard that story?
I don't know. I'm getting sick to my stomach. Let me think. There's like just so many, like on like Tinder swindler and that
Yeah.
one. No, the guy with the jealous girlfriend. That one.
No,
No.
this is he had a virtual app on his phone, a virtual
Yeah.
girlfriend, and
Yeah.
and he fell in love with a virtual girlfriend, and she was saying you ought to go and kill people.
Oh,
And it was this is a true story. This isn't a film
it
here.
is.
It's a
Holy
true
God.
story, yeah. And I think if
Fine
he
line.
yeah, I think he did go on to murder people, and I forget what he did if he blew them up or what is escaped my brain at the moment. but
Sure.
it's something so terrible because he was believing that everything he was being told by this app, which had a mind of its
Okay.
own. But
I
then
think
there's
the most
room.
important thing that this person did not have a mind of his own. That is like so scary to me. And that was like one of the big things when I'm like, if I'm gonna have kids, I
Mm,
want them to be able to think for themselves. I don't want anybody
yeah.
to be able to come along and, like
Mm,
misconstrue things for them. This is kind of not. And by the way, already, if you go on dating apps, all your information is an underground cable wire on the way to like a big, computer, whatever, Brussels. That's not
mm,
lie. It is
mm,
like all, you can like opt out and I know people that do that and it comes back next thing you know, at midnight the next day, they have to go click it again or something. That's another thing about having, human touch. You don't have like, we operate like a law firm. None of the information,
mm.
yeah, gets out.
It's all private, isn't it? I think so many of these apps are freemium. So you go on there, like you said, put your details in, selling your soul to get some dates out of it. And they do
Mhm.
want your money. It's not a good business model for an app to be free forever. They want you to make money and to be unsuccessful because
Sure.
then you keep paying money every single month. If someone
Mhm.
meets their soulmate, they're gone. But for you,
Right,
you want them to invest in you right from the start so that they
right.
spend the money, take things seriously, and they get quicker results. That's what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
What else do you think is just about the future of dating today we're talking about? Do you see anything else coming up? Any big changes or anything in the next few years beyond AI?
I don't know, but what you just said, yeah, it makes me think of Hinge because their byline is designed to be
Yeah.
deleted, and
Is
yes,
it
that
though?
is, what's that?
Is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
really? Yeah, but yeah.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay, there's a skeptic in you. I knew it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, realist, sorry.
A
But yeah,
realist. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think really bottom line, I don't feel threatened to answer that question. Every now and then it's easy to let like and it's important, you don't want to be caught, with deer in the headlamps or anything like that. But I think it's gonna be good. I think it'll be good again to help people get to know themselves a little bit better. I mean, they're gonna have to think more. People aren't like on it thinking now, they're gonna be like left in the dust in a lot of ways. And that's like a little bit scary. That could be definitely another movie. But um I would like to also say, I think I mentioned this the other day, like scary things that can happen. It wasn't AI related, it's real people related. And I told you on the FBI side, the biggest scams ever of all time of extortion and money is dating apps. And they're supposed to be locking down and making things a lot safer and authenticating people and stuff. But like,
Mm,
honestly, you could just go on there and go, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you're authenticated. And it's just like, with a picture or something, I don't know. I think it could be better. So again, human
mm.
touch.
That's absolutely true. Even today, I'm on a business platform with business
Mhm.
profiles on there. There is a dating feature on there. Now I'm happily married. I'm not single. But
Oh, yeah.
someone contacted me for dating on there. Contacted me for dating. And I looked at the
Oh,
profile like a real person. And then she messaged me. I thought I didn't
mhm.
respond to it because I'm married, but I thought I can
Right.
always, someone's single, that's my target audience. I can always try and sell them some dating coaching or push them
Sure.
towards a matchmaker. And
He
then she's,
obviously
oh,
needs it.
yeah, but then I was very suspicious of this because
Yeah.
women don't normally approach you for that reason. And then sent me a message saying, I'm coming off this site in a few days. Here's my personal details, blah, blah, blah. Which is exactly what scammers do on the dating apps. Because
Oh,
they
right.
know that their profiles are going to be removed because they're fake profiles.
So
And I was looking at some of the other profiles on there. They were just AI images on there people have used. Even
really?
yeah, even the platform that I use to get guests, we're both on it. We're both on the
Wow.
Matchmaker FM website, which we get guests and things for
Oh,
podcasts, which is
okay.
great.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
There's people on there that are generated AI images and even fake profiles on there. And I can tell what an AI image is. I'm sure you can. So I'm
Yeah.
sure that the owners of that site can. But I'm looking at them. This is not a real person. Why have they got
Yeah.
their fake image? They're just allowed to
Yeah.
do it.
That's messed up, especially there. I don't
Yeah.
understand that one bit.
Yeah.
But it's so
Yeah.
the profiles on all the dating apps, like it's always somebody trying to tug on somebody's heartstrings. It's a widow, and he's got his little kid there, and he's working
Yeah.
overseas. Shocker.
They're a
So yeah,
soldier and they've all these things come on. It's obvious, but things are evolving. I'll
yeah.
tell you my thoughts on the future of dating
Okay,
because I'm sure
cool.
everyone listening would like to hear this as well. I thought a few years ago the future of dating would be more virtual reality based. I worked with a
Mhm.
dating app who had a virtual reality headset and gaming and things on there. I thought people would go to in the world of COVID would be to step into virtual reality, meet people, have meetings that way. I thought that was going to be great. It
Mhm.
hasn't seemed to go that way at all. I think people are
Mhm.
using virtual reality for different purposes, but not
Re-
to socialize.
Yeah, no, that's the opposite of what we need. Like those guys the other
Yeah.
night that like, they have the internet in their palms of their hands. A lot of them got, taken away and put in a slammer and stuff,
Yeah.
but they know how to work it. They're like gifted and stuff. But at the end of that show, after everything that they had done and the White House got ransacked and they were calling out, they were trying to call out a bunch of people and like big corporations that,
Yeah.
should had a light shined on them. But then the real head guy, he was like, get off the web. Go smell some grass. Meet real people,
Yeah.
please. Yeah, that no more said there.
That's exactly what I think the future of dating is going to be. I think we're going to go full circle back to how it
Mm-hmm.
used to be, with people being
Mm-hmm.
introduced by somebody, maybe by a
Mm-hmm.
matchmaker, maybe by a family friend, maybe by someone
Sure.
that you know already. So they're vetted in real life. And we're going
Thank
to go
you.
out to meeting people in real life, in real venues, and socializing a lot more. Everyone
Yeah,
seems to have
organic.
lost, yeah, organically. That's what's going to happen. People hate the dating apps. They serve a purpose, and I'm not going to talk myself out of a job in the future, but they serve a purpose. For some people, they're great.
It
If someone
works
wants
for
to,
me.
yeah, if someone wants to use a matchmaking app and give it a go, why not? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's your budget and you want to give that a go. But I think
Sure.
people are going to meet back how they used to do 50 years, 100 years ago, thousands of years ago, by getting
Yeah.
together and in groups and think, I quite fancy you, and
Yes.
seeing what happens. And that's what I think is going to happen now. And if
Yes.
we can aid them in that way by giving some guidance, then that is
Yes.
the future. The future is the past.
We
What do
got
you
a
think?
huge sense of that during COVID. People
Yeah.
were kind of like locked away and we realized the importance, it's always been
Yeah.
fellowship and human contact and all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you very
Yeah.
much. I see
Yeah.
it that way as well.
Mm.
And it'll be interesting to watch. We're front row center.
We are, and we've been here a long time. You've been slightly longer than I have. I've been doing this for 19 years. You're 22. So between us, that's a long, long time, a lot of experience between us, which is great.
You know
And
what? And you can't replace that
yeah,
experience. I mean, like my dad would say about certain
mm,
political people, like they're smart, but they don't have the wisdom. And you don't get
no,
wisdom, you're not born with wisdom.
no,
Live it and learn it as you are in a situation
you
work.
do. And you
Yeah.
do it by evolving, don't you? You learn what's coming up and you deal with it. And if you take
Hmm.
it on board and you learn how to do it, or you don't, and then you get
Hmm.
lost. And so many companies have come and gone over the years. And even
Hmm.
even my podcast, I was going
Hmm.
back adding videos onto YouTube for my podcast
Hmm.
from 3 or 4 years ago. And
Hmm.
sadly, at least a third of those companies have gone. All the hopes and dreams of his companies and dating capacities, they've all going to start their own agencies up and their own coaching things. Gone. They're not here
Well,
anymore.
they think it's like seriously, they think it's just
Yeah,
going to be, like batting eyelashes for a living or something. There's so
they
much
do.
work. A lot of people that I know, if they ask me what I do and like,
Yeah.
I decide to talk about work after work, they're like,
Yeah.
that must be really hard though. The people that really think about it, it's
Yeah.
like a Rubik's cube trying to get two people these days, all the complexities of, it's so nice for people to be open-minded. I love what you said. You were talking about what's what made me think about it is, opposites can come together and make a beautiful thing, but it's all about
Yeah.
respecting one another's beliefs and it can
Yeah.
spice up things.
It can. It's being open-minded. That's what it's
Mhm.
about. And I think AI discourages you from being open-minded, and the
Mhm.
apps do as well because you're overwhelmed. Women have so much choice on there by all these profiles. There's so many men on there. They get absolutely
Mhm.
overwhelmed. In the matchmaking world, it's slightly different. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how it is with you, but there tend to be more women that are open to this than men because women are
Mhm.
more open-minded. In my coaching practice, I have an
Mhm.
equal number of men and women. But when it comes to coaching for agencies, a lot of
Mhm.
the men turn down the coaching. Women want to have it. Women are more open
Yeah.
to this. So we end up with a mismatch where women
Mhm.
are being educated and men aren't. So being
Yeah.
open-minded, that is the future of dating as well, isn't it? Being open-minded.
Yes, I agree totally. And men are like going through a major metamorphosis as well, in their
Yeah.
defense, they're like checking out of the infamous male ego and getting more in touch with themselves has been one of my favorite things to watch in the last little while,
Yeah.
especially in the last like 5 years. And they are, opening up the floodgates of communication. I just
Mm.
can't believe it. It's like, and yeah, that's the thing. So it's going to circle back around. We like kind of it pivots back and forth with us, but
Mm.
yeah, they don't necessarily want to be told, and then they just, yeah. But anyway, it's happening. It's balancing out. But yeah, women are pretty proactive, and the
Women
guys
are.
have the gift of time, so that's a thing.
That's true. There's less pressure than ones have
Mhm.
children and settle down. Women often feel that pressure. But I
Mhm.
think really we're coming into a world where people have to change, they have to evolve. And
Yeah,
I'm excited that both of us are going to be part of that process to
okay,
guide them as they go forward to the next stage of their journey. And
right?
what better job is there than that?
Yeah, I know. We cater to people in the 30s, but I am just so happy when somebody comes along and they just came out of a long marriage and it's like landing on planet single. And God, now I don't know, factoring in AI and everything, that would be, make certain people want to run for the hills. But if they can land with a good coach or
Mhm.
matchmaker, to
Yeah,
take them by the hand, protect them from, kissing all the frogs and stuff, then that's a
yeah.
good thing.
It is. I think if you're newly single, have a bit of fun, see what's out there. But when you become serious,
Mhm.
contact someone like us and we can
Mhm.
help you make this work and have your own future that's a happy, successful one full of love. See what I did there? I rounded off the conversation in the right way, talking about the future of dating. I'm very proud of myself for that one. I've got a couple more quick questions for you.
Sure, sure.
Do you have any, you know what's coming next? Do you have any daily routines? Daily routines that you follow each day? Not dating routines, daily routines.
I was like, what does he know about me? Um, yeah, honestly, to keep it real, I wake up with the sun,
Yeah.
okay, and then I may or may not go meditate over coffee,
Yeah.
and I may or may not journal. I may or may not do yoga. But one thing is for sure, I hit my computer and start matching when my brain's on full throttle. I may bang out like a list of emails that are, wanting my attention, but I've gotten really good at that, delegating and all that kind of stuff. But no, I do the deep dive into our CRM, and that takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and then after that, I'll attend to some, my staff and things that they may be needing. And then after that, I might do a James podcast. And then after that, I will go for a walk or get some fresh air, go to the beach.
Yes.
And then in the afternoons, I kind of free flow. I try to have some Leslie time. That's so important. I used to work, James. I used to work 7 days a week, maybe 12 hours a day. I was just like a beast. And now I realize there's other, because I loved it. I'm sure you can appreciate it, and the passion is
Yeah.
so there. It's just like so much fun, and the happy
It
dances that
is.
come with a marriage announcement and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm trying to get to know myself again as a, you know, layman. Yeah.
I love that. You said at the start there that you wake up with the sun.
Mhm.
I wake up with my sons waking me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Get up, time's for school every morning. That's what happens to me. Even in the holidays we've just had, they're waking me up all the time. But I love
Enjoy
what you said.
every minute.
I know I was
Yeah.
thinking that even today. I think I take things for granted and it goes by so
Uh,
quickly,
no,
much,
I
much
wish I
like
could.
life.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud of them, and that's a nice way. They're probably part of my daily routines as well. But
Oh.
Leslie, thank you so much for sharing this with me. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I feel we could talk a lot longer, but I know how busy you are. So if somebody wanted to find out more about you and your company, how do they do that?
Well, Matchmaking. Wait, what's my company? It's ambiancematchmaking.com. And then we're on all the social media sites. And as you mentioned, the podcast took a little hiatus, but it's kicking back up. But yeah, the main go-to, ambiancematchmaking.com. And if they're interested in becoming a client, they can fill out a little mini-me profile and it gets scoured by AI. No, just kidding, by a real person. And then we kind of have to like weed through and see what's going on there. And that's it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I'm sure people will check you out. I know we'll talk again another time, but thank you for joining me and go and enjoy the sun.
It's in a cloud right now, but yeah, my pleasure. And I look forward to it. Thanks, James.
Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening. I'd love to give you a free copy of my latest book, which you can download right now from my website, jamespreece.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could share the love by taking a few seconds to write a positive review on the iTunes store right now. See you next time.